Good morning, folks. Tim Ealer here, and here is an animation of the Polar Vortex at 10 millibars. And it shows pretty easily here. You can gather the stretching out of the Polar Vortex from its place at the Arctic Circle down into the Continental US, bringing cold air. This is 11 December, and this is a run from 2 days ago. We should have another run today, but analyzing this, you could see at the highest levels where the vortex is stretched and bringing the cold air down to the eastern points east of the Rockies with high pressure offshore here, the west coast. Here's a cut on the U.S. Right, cold air. Excuse me. So you move this through time. See how it pushes even further, stretched even more, right? Cold air just streaming down into the east of the Rockies. It's hard to get this air unless this polar vortex moves further to the west. It's hard to get that air east, west of the Rockies, but move through time. You see it doesn't stay that way for too long, right? Although you still have some remnants of it along the eastern seaboard. Move through time here. It consolidates towards Christmas time, so doesn't really support a lot of cold air, at least based on this on the East Coast. But to the northern U.S., I would expect the cold air to remain, so which is not unusual this time of year. So I anticipate the temperatures are going to be below normal in the northern part of the U.S., maybe slightly above normal to the south. All right. So that's one view of the polar vortex. Here's another view of it, a 3D view, right? We go 240 hours out. You see how it's stretched out here. This is 15 December, right? And we showed that in the other animation. We go further through time. It's still stretched out here. Consolidates towards the end of the period, right? You see how it becomes more circular overall. So both of these diagrams support that and what we're thinking today with the colder air coming into the areas east of the Rockies. Very cold air from the Arctic, really directly from the Arctic. So what are the sensible temperatures going to look like? This is one representation of this. Of the sensible temperatures, what you would feel at the surface. Now this is air temperatures. I'm not talking about wind chills, right? So the magenta colors are the coldest, right? Warming up some for the continental U.S. Um, you see the warmer temps there, right? You see this cold air pushing in, right? And with temperatures in the negative teens here, we go through the period here. And this is just the GFS ensembles, right? Mean temperature. So actual air temps in different locations would likely be less, like 7 a.m. for the south, so very cold, right? Below normal here, 40 degrees Fahrenheit at 10 p.m. So 4 a.m., 7 a.m. That's pretty close to, that's below normal, guys. All right. So anywhere east of the Rockies, be prepared for the cold air intrusions, especially um, from starting next weekend through next week. So what are the current hazards? We have dense fog and some freezing fog ongoing here in the southeast. I'll show you a different look at this in a minute, but you have the flood watch along the west coast of the U.S. High wind warnings up here in the west, and some a few winter weather advisories and high wind warnings out here with some winter weather advisories here along the Great Lakes and into the Appalachians with that dense fog advisory here. So not a lot going on except for the dense fog and freezing fog this morning. So this is a current radar, and we have the moisture that we came through the south hanging out here along the Gulf Coast. And we have the snow ongoing here where that winter weather advisory is. Quick hitting system, not hugely impactful, but still impactful nonetheless. Some snow showers here in the South Dakota, Nebraska, North Dakota, Montana, with that atmospheric river streaming onshore here out west. And that's the big story in the coming days. Next 3 or 4 days is the heavy rainfall on the west coast. Now, if we look at the advisories here, this shows this a little better. We have freezing fog advisory into Virginia, parts of North Carolina, Tennessee, right? And I'm showing you that because it wasn't on the other map. And so yeah, then the dense fog advisory here for the rest of the country. Well, not the rest of the country, for the areas down here south, where you get the cold air at the surface and moisture, the moisture trap there this morning. As far as the local area goes this morning, we got this dense fog advisory going on this morning. For northern and central Georgia, you see the other areas in the south. This village a quarter mile less in dense fog. And slow down, guys, and turn you on your low beam headlights, right? For today, precip chances really decrease to the north here, with the highest precip amounts possibly in southern Georgia, which we saw on the radar. Just highs in the 50s generally for most of Georgia today. Lows tonight in the 40s for most of the state, with the upper 30s here in the north. And we got increasing rain chances again tomorrow, although it's not going to be heavy rain. So overall, not a hugely impactful event, but I won't be surprised. Maybe we get some snow showers up here in northern Georgia. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Or maybe some freezing precip. Tomorrow, high temps in the 50s and the 40s up north. Precip chances moving further to the east, although quite low, 15-25%. So not heavy precip, not really expected. Yeah, so I realized I didn't have my picture up, so I just finally fixed that now. But you can see the daily high temperature, low temperature, using the National Weather Service database. Forecast high of 44 on Saturday, low of 29. Yikes. So you see it warming up towards the end of the week, then cold on Saturday. So what's the precip chances look like? Over the next 3 days, not expecting a lot of precip here. Maybe a trace, maybe, but overall not a lot of precip for the next 3 days. So what are the current temperatures this morning? Generally in the 30 and 40s here, even up along the East Coast, getting cold up here into the extreme Northeast, and the upper Midwest to the northern high plains in the negative teens here. Very cold this morning. So yeah, that's pretty brutal here. Let's see if we have wind speed. Wherever these winds are higher, of course, you're going to have a wind chill effect. So overall, pretty cold, right, for a good portion of the nation here. Yeah. So Anyway, these are the temps, and now we're going to move on to a little shorter mid-range, long-range forecast discussion. So this is the NAM 3K model showing simulated radar, and why I was showing this is because I wanted to show where the precip is going to be today. You have snow moving to the east here, east of the Great Lakes, and east of the Rockies, and the onshore rainfall out west here. So, excuse me, low pressure slowly moving out here. I know this is kind of glitchy, but let's back this up a little bit. And the models have been consistent, especially the NAM on this event happening here. Potentially impactful event. Although right along the coast here, it's trended towards more of a rain event. But just to the west here, maybe some heavy snow here. So let's compare it to the HRRR. See if we can go that far out. Right. It's a little further north and more bullish with the snowfall there. And this is tomorrow afternoon, potentially through rush hour. That snow moving offshore and low pressure getting going here. Getting on and pretty. It's not really showing deep, but it's deepening right offshore here. So it really depends on where this low pressure sets up, right? Now, another way to look at this is at 500 millibar vorticity. Go back to the NAM and look at a vorticity, right? Which helps us decide where, or kind of infer where a low pressure might develop, right? This is what we got here. We got some vorticity and energy coming offshore here with the NAM. Short term energy diving to the south here, some more energy here. This is 4 p.m. right? And so not extremely strong storm here, but it really gets going when it gets further offshore, but not that intense, right? Let's look at the 500 millibar heights here. Not really much to see there. And the winds, right? I get this to move. It's not wanting to do anything for me, but let's look at the HRRR. Maybe it'll be a bit better here. This Sunday for the winds. Looks like a little bit of enhancement here. Sunday. And you see this why we have something developing here. You have an enhanced in the 500 millibar flow right here. See the trough to the west, and you get the idea that there's a low pressure developing right here. See that? So that's at the mid levels. Not very intense, but you get the idea. That moves out, right? So you see the tilt with it right here. So these areas are the most likely, I think, given this model, where you could see the most intense snowfall rates. See the enhancement here. So if we go to the NAM 3K, move a little bit further out here. It's a little more nebulous with this development, but maybe that's why the HRR is a little more intense with the precip. But if we go back to the HRR, let's take a look at winter weather and see what the snow amounts will be. Let's go through. Let's go a little bit. I can't go any further than this, but because it's a 48-hour run, right? Potentially 3-4 inches of snow here in the Virginia area. Maybe some snow here into north parts of North Carolina, especially in North Carolina mountains here. Parts of Tennessee, parts of West Virginia. So you switch this to the NAM. It's a little further south with this, right? South and east. I would say the HRR is more reasonable given climatology and cold air, but we'll have more resolution of this in subsequent runs, so we'll just have to see how this plays out, right? So switching back to HRR, yeah, potentially 4 inches here, 3-4 inches here along the coast here. So most snow totals in the upper Midwest, the high snow totals, of course, and where that event is going through here, 3, 4, 5 inches, right, through Tuesday. And of course, in the highest elevation, highest terrain out west here, heavy snow, right? So ice accumulation, not expecting much ice. Maybe some here with a freezing fog, right? Mostly out here, out west, out here. So, yeah. As far as rainfall goes, let's go back. Total rainfall. This is from the HRR, right? This is total rainfall, 48 hours. Right along the Gulf Coast in the Florida. They need the rain there. Along the west coast of the U.S. here, 2, 3, 4 inches of snow, rain here, through Tuesday. I already really talked about the temperature some, but I want to play this through this European model showing overall temperature trends, right? And see where the warmest temps are, and then the coldest temps towards the end of the period, right? We get back towards the end here. This is the Euro. My cat's doing weird stuff over here. It's towards the end of this model run. It's warming up some for the south, and the Climate Prediction Center has indicated that might happen. You go back to the 12th and 13th. See the cold air pushing through here, right? Yeah, so and the coldest temps may be in the negative 20s here up north. So pretty brutal, you know, with wind speeds. Not showing. Let me see if I can find. Doesn't really. Wind gusts. Doesn't have the actual numbers here, but wherever the highest winds are, you're going to have wind chills, pretty brutal here. So if I could just find my controls, I'll be happy here. There they are. So as far as the size of rainfall for the country for today, not expecting reach flash flood guidance, but along the west coast here, where we got the biggest threat in the short to medium term, right? Day 2, which is tomorrow. Day 3, slight to marginal risk. Day 4, we keep going with this. And day 5, still on the marginal risk. So, you know, that's this atmospheric river is no joke in the short to medium term. Interestingly enough, we have some severe weather possible here along the central Florida today. So we'll have to take a look at that a little more detail. Tornado threat, 2%. Interestingly enough, with the wind threat as well. No hail, which is not unusual, right? In Florida with saturated profiles there. So day 2, general thunderstorms move further to the south here into Florida, southern Florida. And day 3, there's nothing on the books there. So as far as the mid to longer range temperature outlook, you see with the warmer temps are expected out west here and to the east. We talked about that. Just a little further, a little less confidence going further out, which wasn't unusual, right? Pretty confident of warmer than normal temps out west here. Okay. And then there's maybe that trough de-amplifies over the east. You have just possible colder than average temps up north and warmer than average temps in the south. We kind of looked at that with the model runs, but you see it played out here by the Climate Prediction Center as well. Look at precip. In general, drier than average for a good portion of the nation except for the northern tier. Same thing for day 8 to 14 to the mid-range. And week 3 to 4 looks like drier than normal possible here along the southeast coast and parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, New Mexico. And these areas in deeper green, possibly above normal precip in the longer term. As far as day 8 to 14 hazards, we have much below normal temperatures expected. Much below temperatures here, normal temperatures here in this Ohio Valley. I just got a call from work, so I got kind of distracted here, guys. Sorry about that. Got to finish this video up. Precip, risk of heavy precip here, December 14th through the 20th, 2025. Nothing on the books here, but that could change. Risk of heavy snow possible here in the Northwest, Idaho, Washington State, Montana. Risk of high winds, the 15th and 16th here. And these hazardous temperatures, we talked about this, moderate risk in that area and slight risk on the 14th, 15th, and 14th through 16th. So that's all I got for today, guys. Hope you all have a great day and God bless.